Hi, Mark. This is a response to your 10-inch contest, or as it's called, the Whip Out Your Big 10-Inch Records contest. Reading it down there. So yeah, I got a lot of them, and I got too many of them to show, and so I picked out just sort of a handful of them that I really like, and I'm going to show those off a little bit. Probably too many, but just get right into it here. First off, congratulations, 500 subs. That's great. I'm getting close to 500, and I got to figure out a contest because I'm going to do one. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but this was a great contest. This is a good idea. Wish I thought of it. Anyway, congratulations on the 500 subs, and into it. Here we go. Everybody's showing this. At least you were, and I know my friend Marsh was. But this is sort of a classic 10-inch for a lot of people to get. Cheap Trick, found all the parts, and it has all the parts in it, including the 45 that's in there. So got that going. Then just want to show a couple of box sets real quick. I'm not going to break these open because I have some other things I want to show kind of in detail. But this was the Upsetters, Lee Scratch Perry and the Upsetters box set from this Record Store Day release. It doesn't have the Record Store Day release official logo on it. This year they just sort of released it in conjunction with Record Store Day. However, I was lucky enough, and if Marsh is watching this, I don't think he is because he doesn't watch my videos. They're too long. They're too boring. I don't blame him. I was able to find last year's RSD 10-inch box set by Lee Scratch Perry, Blackbird Jungle, with the Record Store Day logo. And so this is on the colored vinyl. They re-released this on black vinyl. Still a great piece of work, and well worth picking up even on black vinyl. So let's see. Next thing I want to show is something that I showed yesterday when I was putting up my response to Joe's contest regarding your top 5 Beatles and solo music. And this is a 10-inch record that from Paul McCartney that came out with the Press album. And it's kind of neat. If you buy the Press album and you open it up, it's a gatefold, and it has, every song has this little kind of a illustration of how the music works, where all the music is, the different instruments, and what's all happening during the song. And this is for the song Press, but what's crazy about it is it has a crazy opening, and then it opens again like this. Oh, and then you get this shot here, and then opens again like this, and like this, and you're getting pretty much this pattern textured image in here. And then finally you get to the vinyl. So it's kind of on the clumsy side. I don't know if I've ever played this, but there it is. I think it's a one song. No, it's not true. There's just no label on this side for whatever reason. I don't know if all the others were unlabeled on the B side, so maybe mine is ultra special, but no label here. But there is a label here. There are 2 tracks here. It's been a while since I played this, so I'll have to play it again and find out what those 2 tracks are. But it's kind of interesting. I'd forgotten all about the missing label on this side. Anyway, let's see. And I don't even, there's a little like slip tab right there for it to slide into to lock it, but I don't even bother doing that. It's just could cause some damage, so just, good grief. I've got some 10-inch plastic sleeves now, so I need to re-sleeve this. In fact, I'm going to leave this out, so I do that. And I'm going to leave it out over here. There we go. Keeping with the Beatles theme, I recently picked this one up. I saw this at record stores or at record shows for a long, long time. And I always sort of walk by it and just sort of let it go. It's From Us to You, a Parlophone rehearsal session, 10-inch. It's kind of nice. Down the back, there's also a similar 10-inch like this for John Lennon, which I don't have. I wouldn't mind having, but just not necessary. I have all the music on it. It's on kind of the famous label here, Ruthless Rhymes Limited. What's really cool about it is it's on nice transparent orange vinyl. Very cool. Oh, you can see through there. any light on this side, but yeah, trust me, it's very nice tangerine transparent vinyl. So that's kind of a cool 10-inch record. And for the most part, you know, I guess I want to say that 10-inch records are used to do something special with them, like what McCartney did with the packaging or doing colored vinyl. But honestly, find a lot of, I think if you really look at it, you'll find more of them are on black vinyl than anything else. This is a relatively recent acquisition. If you like pop, oh boy, power pop, Beatlesque music, Electric Light Orchestra, XTC. This is a great band from Ireland called Pugwash. This is a 10-inch off of their more recent album that they just put out, and they've got, well, actually they don't have a new album coming out, but another side project they have is coming out called, oh no, my mind goes blank. The Duckworth Lewis Method. And it's a side project of the songwriter from Pugwash, Thomas Walsh, and a cohort of his, whose name escapes me, unfortunately, and I apologize. But this is a nice 10-inch record from Pugwash and their latest album. And it's on Lojink's label. I think they're probably still available. It's really nice custom label. Beautiful vinyl, different versions of songs, and a couple of songs I think that weren't on the album. So definitely worth picking up. Become a follower of this band, Pugwash. I'm going to plug it one more time. Pugwash. Buy it today. On the Lojink's label. And that's their first, that 10-inch and the 12-inch of the album is the first vinyl they've been on, so it's kind of nice. Dion, you were asking about this in I think a Facebook post picture that I put up. And this, you were kind of asking what you saw in NRBQ, and you said, oh, that black record back there with NRBQ, what is that? This is a 10-inch record put out by Sundays, custom shop. And it's NRBQ doing a Sun Ra song, Rocket Number 9 and Venusian Sunset. Next Stop Mars, Approach the Planet. It was originally, 2003. It was originally supposed to come out in 2003. Apparently something went haywire, and it wasn't until, I think, last year that it finally got released. But they had them all pressed up and ready to go, and probably in the warehouse since 2003. So, I think if you go over Sundays, you can still find these. How about I hold up the front of the 10-inch right here? And if you like Sun Ra, if you like NRBQ, great. This is really cool. It's live in 1970. It just says NRBQ Interstellar New Rhythm and Blues Quintet, live 1970. Frank Gobler, vocals, cowbell, Terry Adams, keyboard vocals, Steve Ferguson, guitar vocals, Joyce Spaminato, bass vocals. Tom Staley drums with John Adams on trombone and Keith Spring on tenor sax. So that's basically it. It's on black vinyl, but kind of a custom Sundays label. And this is really cool. This is if anybody out there is interested in NRBQ or Sun Ra or psychedelic music, I think they call it. This is one to get. It's also one to get back into the sleeve. Here we go. Dr. Deadwax had a contest, wanted to see cats on covers of albums, and I showed the 12-inch version of this. And I know I had the 10-inch somewhere. I was going to show it too, but just as well, I'm showing it now. This is Oingo Boingo. It's sort of an early compilation, little kind of an EP of theirs. Has 4 tracks on it. Only a Lad, Violent Love, Ain't This the Life, and I'm So Bad. But this is the 10-inch version of the Electric Cat EP, as I like to call it, because I don't think it has an official name. It just says Oingo Boingo EP. So this is the inner sleeve. And I believe it's just good old-fashioned black vinyl, but kind of a cool label on there. Sorry it's washed out, but oh, now it's cool. Now it's fun. Look at all those green leaves out there. Ooh. Oh boy, 10 minutes and I still got a handful of these things to go. Hold on, folks. It's worth it. There's still more fun to come. Urge Overkill, the Stella EP, which is on gray vinyl. It's very cool. I'm not going to bother to take it out. I can get through these a little bit quicker. This is one. Liars. I believe this is Liars. Yeah, Liars. Fins to make us more fish-like. Picked this up recently, and if I hold it just right, you can see the varnish printing on the cover. And then, once you get done being amazed by the varnish printing on the cover, you check out the inside of the cover, which has some very cool inner artwork, scale-like things. But before you even get to that, you're going to see the very cool colored vinyl. Wow, splatter colored vinyl, very cool. So, this is one to look for a variety of reasons. 10-inch, splatter colored vinyl, it's the Liars, and it's got artwork on the inside of the cover. This is a 10-inch reissue of Miles Davis that I picked up. Excuse me. And it's, pardon me, it is a Japanese reissue, and it's on, it shows Blue Note. It's sort of a classic, true to the original 10-inch reissue. I got it home, and there's this big, this tiny glop of glue or something on it. It felt like rubber cement. And I fiddled with it for a while, trying to be very careful. I eventually just took some lighter fluid on a Q-tip and just carefully brushed it off, peeled it off, pulled it off, and then cleaned the grooves really clean, and then got some distilled water on it right away, washed off the lighter fluid off of it, and gave it a good rinsing, and place is fine. Sounds good. Got rid of that, so very happy. This is one I haven't even opened up yet, but I grabbed it because it was a 10-inch, and it's an Elvis Costello and the Imposters, the Clarksdale Sessions. Saw this around for a while in a couple of places, and now it's sort of gone extinct, but glad I picked it up. So that's the only... I'm trying to think. I bought another Elvis Costello 10-inch of... I can't remember what song it was. Off of eBay, and I got it, and the description said near mint, blah blah blah, and I got it, and it was farthest thing from being near mint. It was horrible. It was just I immediately sent it back, and the guy was cool. Whoever sent it back, they refunded me everything, they even paid for the shipping to get it back to them. And I'll put that in there. I'll say, not only am I not paying for the shipping to get it out here, I'm not paying for the shipping to get it back to you, because this is not what you described. And the seller was very cool, and he, a couple of sellers have done that too. They've even, without even saying anything, have offered to, no, just send it back. In fact, we'll pay for the shipping. We'll refund you. Uh-oh, guess who? Oh, you just reminded me, Dexter. Thank you. Anyway, getting off topic. This is another Sundazed reissue or issue of a double 10-inch of the Byrds. It's kind of a favorite thing to have right here. Definitely pick this guy up if you're a Byrds fan. It has alternate versions of Fifth Dimension, 8 Miles High, Why, Rider, John Riley first. It might be the actual album. I thought he said this was. I haven't opened this up. So, and this guy's back here. But I know they have extra tracks on here. But I thought this was a completely different version of the album. So they took all the alternate versions of the album. There you go. There you go. Over here. All right. Step on the records. Anyway, if you're a Byrds fan, this is something to seek out. I think they still got them on the Sundays label, on the Sundays record site. So, one to look for. This is one I've been looking for a long time, and I finally found it down in San Diego, of all places. And this is Aztec Camera. I should have saved this because I have a couple of odd-sized 10-inch. Doesn't come in a 10-inch sleeve. Comes in this crazy magazine-sized sleeve, which has all kinds of really cool stuff in it. which is great. And then here's the 10-inch, and the 10 inches would have been great if the 10-inch was colored vinyl, just to knock it off. But nice label on there. And so I've seen this around a couple of places, and it was just always banged up just because of the odd size, and nobody took care of it. Finally, I found somebody who found a copy of it where someone took care of it, and forwards and backwards. The bugle sounds again, which I like that song. Jump, Birth of the True, Mattress of Wire. So there's that, and there's the B-side of backside of it. Should have saved this because there's a couple of other sort of non-traditional 10-inch covers. I'm going to save this guy for here. So I got a lot of stuff I'm trying to go through fast. 15 minutes. This is another one a lot of people are showing, David Bowie. And I bought this thinking that it was, well, from this era, which I believe was the, the Thin White Duke era, Station to Station, that period. But it says, don't be fooled by the name. I think somebody posted this, and I responded saying on Facebook, and I responded saying, don't be fooled by the cover, because it's got stuff he did in the early 60s. I Dig Everything, Can't Help Thinking About Me, Do Anything You Say, Good Morning Girl, a couple other songs. But it's on that crazy PRT label. And there's a matching Kinks that I think, Mark, you showed, and I could swear I had that, but I can't find it, and maybe I never had it. Maybe I'm hallucinating. I don't know. Or maybe I had a PRT of the Kinks 12-inch. I'm not sure. But anyway, got this David Bowie, like I said, which is somewhat deceptive by the cover. But I kept it, and I'm glad I did. This is one of two Kate Bush 10 inches that were released last year for Record Store Day. One was released here in the U.S., that's this one. And then there was a picture disc that was released last year as well. Again, there was a Kate Bush 10-inch release this year for Record Store Day, but only in the UK. And I haven't got my hands on one of those yet. I've got my fingers crossed I will get one. And I can't find the picture disc from last year. It's in here somewhere, and I just didn't want to take the time to find it. But these are quite the pricey item these days. Put out by Audio Fidelity, and it's on pink marble vinyl. Very nice. Something nicer about 10-inch records when they're on colored vinyl. I don't know why. I think a lot of the old jazz labels, especially Fantasy, would put out colored vinyl. Oh, yeah, it's got Hounds of Love and what else? Watching You Without Me, Jig of Life, and the big, oh, yeah, side one, Hounds of Love, The Big Sky, Cloud Busting. I always want to say bursting. I mentioned that in another. I did show that other picture disc of the UK release, not of this, but the UK release that came out last year for RSD on another post. So, and then side two, The Ninth Wave. It's sort of a mini version of the album that this came from. Dexter's settling down here. The Sonics, the good old Sonics from the Northwest, from Seattle, from Tacoma, from the Puget Sound. This is this kind of came out around Record Store Day a couple years ago. What's nice about it is, take a look at the cover. That's kind of like what the vinyl looks like. It's tough to see, and you're probably not going to be able to see it. It's got a nice black inner, and when you take it out, it's like, oh, it's on black, but then you maybe can see a little bit of green up top there and down at the bottom. When I'm looking through it, I see a lot more green around the edges, but it's just so dark and blended in with the black vinyl. And that's to reflect kind of what's going on with the cover as well. So anyway, I hemmed and hawed about picking this one up, and I finally did one day, and I'm glad I did. It's tough to find now. But if you do, very cool color vinyl. Music on it is great. These guys are still rocking along. A couple of Stereolab 10-inch records. I think I picked this guy up when I was down in Portland about a year ago, I think about this time last year. And this is Super Electric, back with High Expectations. Oh, with High Expectations, and then the B-side is The Way Will Be Opening and Contact. So kind of neat to have this one. Unusual to find any Stereolab 10-inch. So it was nice to find some kind of original Stereolab vinyl. It's just tough to find. 12-inch or 10-inch. Speaking of which, Fab for Suture, double 10-inch by Stereolab, which is very cool. I don't think anything too special with the vinyl. Straightforward black, but they do have a nice matching label that goes with the cover. So another good one to have. Stepping into XTC territory. This is something, I believe this was Canadian only. I'm not sure. I know the 10-inch, the 12-inch single was Canadian only, but this was the 10-inch version of it. Yeah, first published in Canada in 1982. And this was a couple of songs from, well, one song and a couple of B-sides from, 2 songs and 1 B-side from, from the English Settlement album, which if you don't have the English Settlement album, I highly recommend it. Ooh, transparent green. Oh, you can't see it. Let me try to make it this way. It's very hard to see the transparency. You can't see it at all. It's kind of a forest green transparent vinyl. You're not going to be able to see it. I need a light behind me for you to see it. So sorry it's so difficult to see, but maybe you can see my hand. No. Trust me, it's a very cool transparent forest green vinyl. One to look forward to. Forward to. If you've got it on order, you never know. Another XTC 10-inch, and I haven't even opened this one up. It's slightly opening itself up, but that's okay. This is from the None Such album. I have, I think, all the 45s, now the 10 and the 10-inch from the None Such album. The Disappointed, backed with The Smartest Monkeys and Humble Daisy, and those are 3 tracks from the album. What I don't have is the album, and that is what I would like to have because that is the one album I think that I'm missing on vinyl, and it is a tough one to get. You can find them online, but people are asking $100 to $200 a piece for them, and I go in there. I'm just not going there. Sooner or later, I'll find a copy of it. So, and one last thing regarding XTC, and then I got 2 more things. I'm out of here. 22 minutes. Sorry, folks. Blah, blah, blah. The Guillotine 10-inch, which has an XTC track on it. And a very cool, strange poster, which I won't unfold. But lots of information about the bands that are on this 10-inch. It's basically a Virgin sampler on the old Virgin blue and red, blue and pink, blue and red Virgin label. This is kind of a, I'm sure this is one that a lot of people have seen. They're probably not quite sure what it is. And if you do see it, pick it up. I like sampler albums, from sampler labels, sampler albums. These 2, my last 2, so stick with me here. I should have gone with the, I should have put the Aztec camera with these guys, but this is the Clark Kent 10-inch in a 12-inch size. You see that it's die cut here, and there's a big warning sticker on it. And if you don't know who Clark Kent is, he is Stuart Copeland from The Police. And see there and there. And a friend of mine, Marsh, who I know is not watching this, this is transparent green vinyl, but apparently they reissued it on not long after this came out. They did another run of them, but they were only done on black vinyl. And apparently, the black vinyl one were such a short run that they are the more collectible than the transparent green vinyl. So, one last one and I'm done. And that is the another big one, another 12-inch cover for a 10-inch record, which is Squeeze, Squeeze. Oh, what does it say? 6 Squeeze songs crammed onto one 10-inch record. And yes, they are squished onto this 10-inch record. As you can see, it's die cut as well. And there's the back info. And here's the A&M 10-inch record. And pretty standard A&M label there on black vinyl. It's got Goodbye Girl, Cool for Cats, Up the Junction, Slap and Tickle, Bang Bang, Take Me I'm Yours. So that's scratching the surface of some of my 10-inch records at 25 minutes. So Mark, you asked for it, you got it. I could give you more, but no one would watch. I wouldn't even watch. Anyway, take care. Congratulations on the 500 subs, and great contest. It's been fun watching everybody else's 10-inch records, and I'm seeing some that I want to get. Like I'm looking at The Clash, which I had opportunity of getting the original and the reissue at the same time, and I passed on both of them, and now I can't find them anymore. So maybe one of these days I'll find one or the other. Anyway, take care, and here's to another 500.